Good morning, class 11 students. So this is your subject physics, chapter number 8, that is gravitation, and lecture number 4. So in previous lecture we were studying about satellites. We came to know that we studied two types of satellites, that is geostationary satellites and polar satellites, and then I told you about the orbital speed, time period and height of a satellite. Okay, so after studying orbital speed, now today we'll be starting with escape speed. Okay, so first of all let me tell you what do you mean by escape speed. So the minimum speed with which the body has to be projected vertically upwards from the surface of earth so that it just crosses the gravitational field of earth and never returns back on its own. That is, see, when you want to project any body from the surface of earth, you must be giving that body some velocity. So the minimum velocity which is required to throw that body from the surface of earth such that it never returns back, or you can say it crosses the gravitational field of the earth, that minimum velocity will be called escape speed. As it is clear by name, that means the body will escape from the gravitational field of the earth. Okay, so this is the minimum speed with which the body has to be projected vertically upwards from the surface of earth so that it just crosses the gravitational field of earth, or you can say it never returns back on its own. Okay, so now let us derive our equation for escape speed. Okay, so this is the earth of radius r and mass capital M, right? Okay, so now escape speed is that speed, minimum speed required to throw the object from this, that is surface of earth, to the point where no gravitational field of the earth acts. Okay, so I am taking this point P which is at a distance of x from the center of earth, and another point Q which is at a distance of dx from the point P. Now when your body will be at point P, it will be experiencing some gravitational force of attraction between earth and it. So that force F will be equal to gmm upon x square, right, because the distance is x. So now for that body to go from P to Q, some work will be done. Okay, so that work, as you know, work done is force into displacement. That small work done will be F dx. F is gmm upon x square, and therefore dx is the displacement that we are taking from P to Q, and mass, this small m is the mass of that body which we are taking from P to Q, right? Now to calculate total work done, we will be just integrating this term. So therefore W will be equal to integration of gmm by x square into dx. Now what about the limits? See, we have to go from the surface of earth to a point where there is no gravitational field of the earth. So that point will be infinity. That is, we have to go from r, that is surface of earth, to infinity. So the limits will be from r to infinity. So gmm is constant, it will come out of integration. So you will be left with integration of 1 by x square dx. Integration of 1 by x square is minus 1 by x. So the limits will be from r to infinity. So just put the limits and solve it. You will get a work done to be gmm by r. Now this work done is done at the cost of kinetic energy given to the body at surface of earth. So the work done is gmm by r, and obviously the kinetic energy will be half mve square, where v is your escape velocity. So from here small m will cancel out, so you will get ve to be under root 2 gm by r. So this is the expression for escape velocity. Now to write it in another form, as you know, acceleration due to gravity is defined as gm upon r square. So from here just calculate the value of gm, that will come to be gr square. Now put the value of gm into the expression of escape velocity. So the escape velocity will come under root 2 by r as it is, and gm is to be gr square. So 1 r will cancel out, so the escape velocity will come to be under root 2 gr. So this is the expression for a escape velocity. Okay, so the next topic is gravitational potential. Okay, so to define it, the work done in bringing a body of unit mass from infinity to a point without acceleration is called gravitational potential. That is, if at any point you want to calculate gravitational potential, then you just have to bring a body of unit mass from infinity to that point, and the work done in bringing that unit mass body from infinity to that point will give you the value of gravitational potential at that point. Okay, so now to calculate an expression for gravitational potential, let us consider this is the earth of mass capital M and radius r. Okay, so now let us suppose we have to calculate potential at this point P, which is at a distance of r from the center of earth, right? Now, as I told you, the potential at point P will be equal to work done in bringing a unit mass from infinity to P. So see, when you will bring any 1 kilogram mass from infinity to P, I am taking A and B to be two intermediate stages, that is two in between stages which will be coming when you will bring the mass from infinity to P, and let us take the distance of A to be x from the center of earth, and let us take the distance AB to be dx. Okay, so now when you will bring the mass from infinity to A, that is m of 1 kilogram, then there will be a gravitational force between the earth and this mass m at point A. So we can say there will be a force at point A on the mass that will be given by gmm by x square, because again the distance is x, but because here the mass is of 1 kilogram, so if you will put m to be 1, the force will come to be gm by x square. Okay, so now we will calculate the work done in bringing the body from A to B. So now the work done in bringing the body from A to B will be nothing but F dx, that is force into displacement. Force, as you have just calculated, is gm by x square into displacement, that is dx, right? So now as we want to calculate the work done from infinity to point P, which is at a distance of small r, so our integrating limits will be from infinity to r. So the total work done will be gm by x square dx, integration from infinity to r. Now again gm is a constant that will come outside, and integration of 1 by x square will be minus 1 by x, and limits will be infinity to r. Okay, so now just put the limits. So this work done will be equal to potential, gravitational potential at point P, and that will be equal to minus gm upon small r. That will be coming from here. Okay, so now this is the expression for gravitational potential. Now from it we can conclude, when r is infinity, that is this distance is infinity, then your gravitational potential will become 0. And when the small r is equals to radius of earth, that is capital R, then your potential, gravitational potential will become minus gm upon r. So as you can see, this is the minimum potential, because this is a negative, so therefore it will be the minimum gravitational potential which will be at the surface of the earth. Okay, so gravitational potential is a scalar quantity, and as it is equal to work done, therefore it has dimensions of work done, that is m1 L2 t minus 2. So this is the dimension formula of gravitational potential, and it is a scalar quantity. Now let us study the next topic, which is gravitational potential energy. So it is defined as the amount of work done in bringing a body of mass m from infinity to a point without acceleration. So as you can see, there is only one difference between gravitational potential and gravitational potential energy. In gravitational potential, you were bringing a unit mass from infinity to one point, but to calculate gravitational potential energy, we will be bringing a body of some finite mass m from infinity to some point without acceleration. Okay, so now let us calculate an expression for gravitational potential energy. So again I have taken the same diagram. This is the earth of radius r and mass m. This is the point P where we want to calculate gravitational potential energy at a distance r. A and B are two intermediate points. A is at a distance of x, and the distance between AB is dx. So the diagram is same. So now, as I told you earlier, the force will be the force at A on mass m. So here is the difference in that. In your gravitational potential, the mass was 1 kilogram, but here we will be keeping it as small m only. So that will be gmm upon x square. So dw, that is small work done in going from A to B, will be f dx, that is force into displacement. So your force is gmm upon x square into displacement. Now to get total work done from infinity to r, again you have to integrate this term. So it will give you w is equals to integration from infinity to r gmm by x square dx. Again gmm, this is a constant, it will come outside the integration, and integration of 1 by x square is minus 1 by x. Limits will be from infinity to r. So when you will solve it, you will get the answer to be minus gmm upon r. So this work done is nothing but gravitational potential energy of the body. Okay. So there is only a difference of small m in gravitational potential and gravitational potential energy. And one more thing, and again gravitational potential energy is also a scalar quantity. It also has dimensional formula of work done, because again gravitational potential energy is nothing but work done. So m1 L2 T minus 2 will be the dimension formula of your gravitational potential energy. Now the third point is that gravitational potential energy is always negative in gravitational field. And why is it so? Because gravitational force is always attractive in nature, therefore gravitational potential energy is always negative. Okay, so now if the distance is infinity, that is if r itself becomes infinity, then as you have derived the formula of gravitational potential energy, that is minus gmm by r. So if r is infinity, your gravitational potential energy will become 0 at infinity point. Okay, so now in the fifth point, I have taken a case that suppose there is a mass m and you are taking it from a distance r1 to r2. Then you have to calculate what will be the change in the gravitational potential energy. So again, as we have derived u is equals to gmm upon x square dx. But now because here we are calculating change, so I am keeping it as del u, and I am putting the limits to be r1 to r2, because obviously we are going from r1 to r2. So when you will solve it, the answer will come to be gmm into 1 upon r1 minus 1 upon r2. Now let us apply a case here, that is if r1 is greater than r2. Now see here, if r1 is greater than r2, then this quantity will come to be negative. That means del u will come to be negative. So this implies if the body is brought closer to the earth, its potential energy decreases. Because see, if you are going from r1 to r2, and if r1 is greater than r2, that means you are going closer to the earth, and therefore you are getting del u to be negative. That is u final minus u initial is coming to be negative. Therefore you can say u final is less than u initial. So therefore you can conclude that the potential energy is decreasing when a body is brought closer to the earth, right? Okay, so the seventh point is that suppose again we have a body of mass m, but in this point we are taking the mass from the surface of earth to a height h, that is your r1 is capital R and r2 is r plus h. So again if we want to calculate change in potential energy, gravitational potential energy, that will be u final minus u initial. So u final will be minus gmm upon r plus h minus u initial. U initial will be for r, that is minus gmm upon capital R. Okay, so taking gmm common from both the terms, so it will be common, so you will get, see, minus minus will be plus, so 1 by r minus 1 by r plus h. Okay, now let us divide and multiply r in this term. Okay, so dividing r will give you 1 r here, multiplying it by r by r will be 1 minus r upon r plus h. Okay, so now take this r in the denominator. So when you will take it in the denominator, this term will become r by r 1 plus h by r. Rest is same. Now again taking this whole term in numerator, that will become 1 plus h by r whole to the power minus 1. Rest of the term is again same as this. Okay, so now how to solve this term? This is nothing but 1 plus x to the power n. And as in last lecture I told you, we can solve such terms by binomial theorem, and it is 1 plus x to the power n. So we will be solving it by using the formula 1 plus nx. So So when you will apply 1 plus nx, you will get gmm by r into 1 minus 1 plus h by r. So 1 minus 1 will cancel out. So del u will come to be gmm by r into h by r, or you can say the change in gravitational potential energy when a body is taken from the radius of from the surface of the earth to a height h will be gmm into h by r square. Now as you can clearly see, this is gm by capital R square, which is nothing but acceleration due to gravity. So putting it here, you will get the change in gravitational potential energy to be mgh. Okay, so the next topic is energy of a satellite orbiting Earth. So we will be calculating when any satellite revolves around Earth, what will be its total energy. So as you have just calculated, gravitational potential energy is minus gmm by r, where your small r is capital R plus h. Okay, so total energy will be kinetic energy plus potential energy. So potential energy is this much. Now calculate kinetic energy of satellite. So to calculate kinetic energy of satellite, we will be using the formula half m v naught square. And as you know, v naught is given by under root gm by r. So v naught square will be gm by r. So the kinetic energy of the satellite is half m gm by r. And potential energy of the satellite will be minus gmm by r. So the total energy will be given by kinetic energy, that is gmm by 2r, plus potential energy, that is negative sign is there, so negative minus gmm by r. So the total energy will come to be, by solving it, minus gmm by 2r, or you can write it as minus gmm upon 2 into r plus h. So this is the total energy of a satellite which is orbiting around Earth. Okay students, so your chapter number 8 is completed now. So tomorrow I'll be taking all the doubts of this chapter. So do all the questions, NCERT questions from your chapter number 8. Okay. Thank you.